we're gonna go on a mulligan on the draw versus the number 9 overall Mythic player. Can we do it? And we've defeated the number 9 overall Mythic player with Jank. Ladies and gentlemen, civilians across the multiverse, welcome back to another episode of Man Man, and today we've got Juice for you. Before we dig into the deck, make sure to leave a like on the video. The button looks just like this, and it does help out the channel tremendously. I greatly appreciate it. Let's go ahead and dig right in. We got Spara's Nest, Falco, Spara, Pactweaver. Everyone's forgotten about this little bird demon. Flying and Trample, whenever it enters the battlefield, it does have a shield counter on it, and you can look at the top card of your library at any time. Now, you may cast spells from the top of your library by removing a counter in addition to paying its mana cost. Now, this is absolutely no big deal. There are so many different counters in this deck. Let's go ahead and just address what we have initially. Okay, we got the +1/+1 counters. We also have shield counters, but two counters that you may not be aware of. We do have the Kappa Tech-Wrecker here. This enters the battlefield with a Death Touch counter on it. Now, sometimes you kind of just are left there with a Kappa Tech-Wrecker with a Death Touch counter on it, so you can also use that to kind of remove it if it's the least relevant thing. Also have Malcolm. I am debating putting Malcolm up to 2, but right now we're just running 1, and this, obviously, if you're not familiar with Malcolm, it's got Flash Flying, and whenever you deal damage to a player, you're going to put a Chorus counter on it, draw a card, discard a card. If you get 4, then you get to play it for free. So that's, like, the Chorus counter aspect is really, really nice. I am debating putting it up to 2. Really cute synergy here. But this is what we got. The early game is the Warden of the Inner Sky. Now, the Warden of the Inner Sky, putting a +1/+1 counter on it just for 3 untapped artifacts, pretty gosh darn good. And you do get the Scry, which helps you fix up stuff. So the most optimal thing you can do, drop the Warden of the Inner Sky or the Hopeful Initiate on turn 1, and then turn 2, you drop another one of these, and then the Warden of the Inner Sky. So then you take the Warden of the Inner Sky, you scry with the 3 creatures you have on turn 2, and then you get a +1/+1 counter, and then you can train with the Initiate on turn 3. That is like, I mean, that comes up quite a bit. All you need is to have these 2 creatures here and a little bit of something else, and you get it. So I got the Goose Mother as well, just 1. This allows you to create a bunch of food. If this is later in the game, you can just use this to gain a bunch of life versus like Mono Red or something like that. We do also have the Wandering Emperor for Mono Red, but what we have here, Endless Detour. This card is awesome. We do have to I have to make disappears, just kind of like, you know, just keep it like fresh, you know. I mean, it's still a good card in my opinion, but Endless Detour with Cavern of Souls, this gets around Cavern of Souls because we're not countering your spell, we're just bouncing it to the top of your library. How awesome is that? So we can actually get rid of a permanent or a spell. So you can literally just counter any spell or get rid of any non-land permanent, and it gets around Cavern of Souls. And obviously there's Bant colors, and we're running Falco Spara, so that is why we have that. Also have Rigo, Streetwise Mentor. Now this one's a little bit more awkward because it enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it, which is cool. But now whenever you attack a player with 1 or more creatures with power 1 or less, you get to draw a card. Now, again, this is not always super relevant because this is like more of a defensive card. But if you don't get into the training, there's plenty of matches where you don't get into it. The Bondwarden does have a 1, usually, typically. But the Hopeful Initiate, Escort, Warden of the Inner Sky, and the Kappa Tech-Wrecker all have 1 power. So there are times where you're not buffing up with the Warden of the Inner Sky or training, and this can actually draw you cards and kind of maintain tempo. Plus, it's just Rigo. It's Bant. It's Bant. Let's go ahead and get it, baby. That's about it. I mean, I think this is pretty much good. I think we're just going to take Falco Spara and hopefully spar with Spara. So consider joining the channel. That'd help me out as a content creator. I'd greatly appreciate that. Get ready to subscribe if you have not already. And without further ado, let's get ready to vanquish some enemies. Resist Lich, how you doing here? We're gonna have to mulligan this away. Pretty crappy hand there. So we got 2 Falcos. Definitely just gonna put away one of the Falcos, and hopefully we can make use of the other Falco and be on our way. So I do have this Iron Apprentice. I am thinking about actually switching the Iron Apprentice out for that 1 backup 1-drop. It's just like a 0/1, comes in with a 1/1 counter with backup, so you can control where the +1/+1 counter goes. I do think there are some times where it might be a little better. So, well, other than that, we'll just rock with the Iron Apprentice for now. The Goose Mother, definitely a much better 3-drop than a 2-drop, just because it's always half rounded up. So if you do it for 3, you're also going to get that food token. Up the Beanstalk, a little annoying, so more lands, so we actually don't even have to play about or think about our turn 3 play here. Let's just go in for 1, round up, and we'll go ahead and get a 3/3 Goose Mother with that food token so that we can use it to draw next turn. This appears to be the Matraxa deck, so pretty much all we're going to just try and do is just put up damage, just try and be kind of fast about it. So Topiary Stomper, they also, I do notice that they have 2 green, so 2 forests, so that is a little bit strange to me. Typically, well, let's say they grab here a mountain, okay. Ooh, now we got Warden of the Inner Sky. Okay, let's go ahead and just swing in here. Not gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to drop my Falco, see what we draw here. And we have a Kappa Tech-Wrecker. Okay, so this is actually pretty interesting. So they don't have Sunfall, I'm assuming, because they didn't go for double white. So this may be a little bit too cute. I'm just gonna try this out. So we can actually bounce the Iron Apprentice back. I think what they're trying to do, maybe, is set up for Leyline Binding, maybe? So let's go ahead and get rid of that so they can't draw into more white sources or Sunfall. I don't know, that might have been a little bit too cute. Maybe we're just better off just dropping Falco. But either way, we're only missing out on 1 point of damage. But I know we want to, like, be as aggressive as possible, so maybe that was a little bit too cute, but I don't know. The Kappa Tech-Wrecker is pretty cute, and we'll use them. Alright, so another up the beanstalk, and then they call out Angel with the Cavern of Souls, so they definitely are going for Atraxa at some point. And and the Spara's headquarters, now I'm really lost, because that gives whites, so they probably just don't have the Sunfall. Okay, so I think we're good here. Let's just, I mean, they're completely tapped out, so they can kind of just do whatever. I think we should drop the Falco first, just to see if that we get a 1-drop on top. So the Falco's shield counter itself is not going to be that relevant here because they just have, they most likely just have Exile. So we get a Wandering Emperor, that's pretty good. They said, I think, yeah, let's just drop this. And even if we're not really worried about Falco's shield counter. If they have Sunfall, it just gets exiled, is what it is. Okay, let's just go ahead and swing in here. And perhaps that, maybe I could have, that was actually maybe a little mistake. If I could have gone for Warden of the Inner Sky and scryed the Apprentice and the other 2 summoning set creatures, I guess that overall would have been better. Probably not that big of a deal, but maybe a small insight there. Alright, let's see. Okay, thank goodness. And oh my gosh, thank God we got the Endless Detour. Thank God. Okay, so now we actually don't have to worry about really anything. Now, if they've got a Leyline Binding, they kind of screwed themselves by not playing it sooner. But like I said, they couldn't have known that we're running Falco Spara, and they don't know what we have in our hand, too. So this Endless Detour, really, really awesome, especially with Cavern of Souls. I love the Endless Detour. Leyline Binding. Okay, so up the beanstalk, they do get to draw. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could still go in. They can't, yeah, let's just go for the Endless Detour. This way we get rid of the shield counter on Falco Spara, ba-bam, and they don't have any more white. They have no more white. They have 2 green, a red, and an empty for the Cavern of Souls, and we take it. Falco Spara digs into the Endless Detour, and we take it. Birds up. Mini Moy. Okay, this is a terrible hand. We're gonna have to mulligan. We're gonna go on a mulligan on the draw versus the number 9 overall Mythic player. Can we do it? I don't know. Okay, let's go in for the thicket. I'm very, very nervous. This is about as bad as it gets, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try Mini Moy. So I guess you kind of are an MM, so it's MM versus MM. We are the underdogs here. So okay, this is gonna be Atraxa. This Archaeologist is actually a pretty interesting card. I actually have not really played around with it, but I think it's a pretty gosh darn good card. You mill 3 cards and then just kind of get a an instant or sorcery back. And if you don't, you get a +1/+1 counter. I mean, I think I do actually want to brew around with probably some like slower, like control-y type decks, but I'm actually just gonna put down the Goose Mother because our hand's a little bit awkward. We do have Rigo, the Streetwise Mentor. Not really the best card right now, but I think I'm gonna want to hold up a little bit more. What was that? Did you just? Am I going crack? Am I on crack? What was that purple or that pink thing? What was that? What is going on here? This is a crazy map. Okay, I don't know if anyone else saw that, but that was like there was like a pink square? Okay, I've never seen that before. Picklock Prankster, so they're just looking to mill themselves out. I guess they got the Whale of the Forgotten, so they're trying to just go in for that kind of stuff, though. I mean, this deck is really, really good. I think we're gonna have to be aggressive. I'm probably just gonna drop Rigo. Let's swing in first, just kind of collect our thoughts a little bit. Down to 20, and I think we're just gonna have to drop Rigo. We could go for the Endless Detour later, but we're gonna have to put damage on the board here. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we should have gone for Rigo, but Endless Detour is kind of looking okay. Founding of the Third Path. So, okay. Sure. They're going to do what they do, so it is what it is. We could actually get lost on the Founding of the Third Path, too, because it just hit enchantments. So I kind of like that. So Founding of the they're going to mill 4 cards rather than... Okay, that makes sense. Yep. Sometimes they go in for, because they could have casted Seed of Hope for free if they chose one, but they chose to speed it up, I guess. So they read ahead, so that's cool, I guess. Seed of Hope grabs another land, and they're back up to 22 lands, so okay, or 22 life lands. Alright, let's just go ahead and do this. I don't want them to pop off with like the Swarming Emergence, so we're just kind of hanging in there and doing what we can. And at this point, let's go in for the Escort, and I think we're just going to swing in. Now I gotta make a decision. The Endless Detours obviously act as kind of like de facto bounce spells, or de facto, they are bounce spells, but they act as like de facto counter spells. But I think we're going to have to drop Rigo. I know it's a little, like I said, they already have 5 land after this turn, after this land drop here. So I think we just have to kind of just risk it, to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to really sit here with the Goose Mother and this 1/1 that's not doing anything and win. So let's go for Rigo. Maybe put a little bit more damage on the board and just pray to the high heavens. Alright, do your worst. Oh, Wheel of Forgotten. Alright, I think I'm actually going to get rid of Rigo. These Endless Detours, I mean, I just can't let them go. I can't let the removal go, because this is, again, like a combo-y type deck. So I know that they really want to use this. I think Rigo is just a little bit too slow. We can actually use Rigo to draw if they don't get rid of the Escort, but I think that's just a little bit too fragile. If they were tapped out, maybe I'd consider that, but they just got too much else going on here. Alright, so Whale of the Forgotten's a really, really interesting card. We're gonna play this out. Whale of the Forgotten, okie dokie. Okay, let's get rid of the Escort, I suppose. And we're just hanging on a prayer by this Goose Mother. Got an Endless Detour. Alright, I guess this could be worse. Could be worse. Okay, so the map token comes in. Okay. 1/4. I think, okay, are they tapped out? We're good. So we get another turn to kind of breathe here. And we do have, this is the card I was talking about, the Enduring Warden thingy. So I'm actually running this alongside the Iron Apprentice right now, just because I do want the curve kind of like, you know, aggressive. But now we get a 3/3 in the air. Now we're down to 15. And we got 2 Endless Detours. Not the worst thing. I mean, Picklock Pranksters, they're going to mill some cards. They're going to mill them. Okay, that's fine. Now, I'm not, you know, okay, we got a little bit of something going on. We got 2 Endless Detours, an Ancient one. I guess, sure. This deck, I've seen a couple of these brews also run Fight Rigging with the Ancient one, which is actually pretty cute. I think, I don't really want to go for my Endless Detour. I really want to be meticulous about how I go for the Detour. So let's go ahead and swing in here. Obviously, no more food tokens to be seen. Sure. They are down to, like I said, they are down to 13, and they have quite a bit of pain lands in their hand, though. So I guess we'll keep the Wandering Emperor at bay. But honestly, the Wandering Emperor, I'm not really looking to exile with it. I'm looking more so to just kind of put tokens on the board. Okay, I mean, we're hanging in there. This is pretty wild. Ancient one, this is actually not that bad. Draw a card, then discard a card, and then they're going to mill equal to its mana value. I mean, that's not that bad, as long as they're not really, like, you know, doing the Swarming Emergence or Founding of the Third Path, I believe it's called. A Tali. Okay, well, they're going to mill me. Oh, I guess that makes sense. I guess they kind of milled themselves enough, so they're going to mill me. Okay. Okay, I don't really have anything to kind of use from the graveyard here, but another Picklock Prankster. Okay, it is what it is. I mean, this is looking kind of okay. I can't believe we're still, like, in this. We're hanging in there somehow, some way. Okay, they are tapped out. Should I just drop the Emperor? I think I should just drop the Emperor and then just start making tokens. I'm not ready to use the Endless Detour. Hello, Emperor. I'm not ready to use the Detour yet. I think I just want to put down some 2/2s, I guess. They can't double block the Prankster with the Mother, so another land kind of sucks. I kind of need some firepower here. Don't really love the land, so maybe we'll just create more tokens here. I know that the Picklock Pranksters have Vigilance, which kind of sucks, but like eventually, maybe I should put a +1/+1 count. I don't know. Either way, I don't think it's that big of a deal either way. We're still holding. I think our win condition is pretty much essentially the same thing. These Picklock Pranksters could come into the Wandering Emperor either way, so maybe we should put a +1/+1 on the Goose Mother, and then if they swung, we still keep it. Oh, 1 with the Multiverse. Okay, this is what I love about the Endless Detour. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. Now, I know it can come back, but we have another Endless Detour, and they're at 5 life. I mean, do we actually have a shot here? This is nuts. I have another Endless Detour, and like I said, Emperor goes bye-bye. Sorry, Emperor. A Make Disappear. Okay, so now we got a Make Disappear, so we have a real counter and like a de facto-y type of counter-y thingy. So, you know what? I mean, they're going to get back that 1 with the Multiverse. Okay. I mean, I'm more than willing to just sacrifice one of my tokens here, so let me go ahead and just kind of think here. Let's just stick with the plan. Let's stick with the plan, right? Okay. Swing in here. They can't block with a double picklock prankster action. That's not going to work. So, sure. They do get a chump block, so they're starting to get a little nervous. They're starting to chump block, and that feels pretty good. Okay. We're hanging in there. The Restless Cottage comes in tapped, and now they go for one with the Multiverse, and that Pain Land hits them. And let's go for Make Disappear. We have no other option. This is like the only time that the Make Disappear is going to be relevant, is because they cast this huge enchantment, and we're looking good here. Alright, sweet, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, has Vigilance. So even if we go for the Endless Detour, man, this Warden, if this Warden had one power itself, we could have lethal here. We could go for Endless Detour on the Picklock Prankster. Another land really sucks. I really needed... I Get Lost would literally win this the game, which is kind of crazy. Alright. I think we're just gonna... Let's go ahead and just swing in here. It's just not worth it to push for lethal. So let's go ahead and get them to block. That's fine. Okay. Like I said, we can't really do anything else. We can't... Swinging in with the 2/2s doesn't really do anything. Even if we did go for the Endless Detour, they have 4 life. There's that pink thing again. What is going on? What is that? I've never seen that in my life. Kind of gives me some Kamigawa Neon Dynasty vibes with the bright pink. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Either way, this is the craziest, weirdest match of all time. Archaeologist. I could Endless Detour this. Let's not. Let's save the Endless Detour. I'm getting nervous now. Founding of the Third Path. I think we're gonna have to bounce this because they're just gonna snag what? Founding of the Third Path. I think now is the time. Let's go for because they're gonna want to exile target instant or sorcery card from the graveyard. You may cast the copy. So they're gonna go in for the Squirming Emergence. But like I said, I think now is the time we're gonna have to do this. Endless Detour. We are all out of firepower, but they have left themselves open with the the Pain Lands at 3 life. I mean, I'm nervous. Pretty much, a kill spell on the Goose Mother. There's that pink thing. What is going on? I don't know what is going on here. Is this Kamigawa Neon Dynasty? I don't know. They go down to 2. So they go down to 2. So now a little 2/2 could get in. This is crazy. I cannot believe that we are in this match here. So the Ancient One goes off, Traxa. They have Founding of the Third Path. Hold on. Founding of the Third Path. They can only cast it. They can only cast it without the mana cost. There's that pink thing again. They only can cast it in their hand without the mana cost. They actually have to pay for Squirming Emergence. We are on the draw. We took a mulligan, and we've defeated the number 9 overall Mythic player with Jank. Deadstroke, how we doing here? How we doing here? We got 2 white sources, and this is actually really good. I'm going to show you, with the Warden of the Inner Sky, we can actually put a lot of damage really quickly. So let's go for, probably should have gone for Eiganjo. Maybe we get flooded, so maybe I want to keep Eiganjo. Plus, I don't know what we're playing, so I guess I'll take the Pain Land, though. But we have learned that Pain Lands can be deadly. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go for the Escort and go for the Hopeful Initiate. Whenever you have the Hopeful Initiate, I always want to get this down quickly, just because it doesn't really matter. You're pretty much looking to go for the Warden of the Inner Sky, and you're going to tap them all out so that you can train the Hopeful Initiate next turn. So, yeah, we don't have enough to cast this Wandering Emperor, plus we already have an Emperor, so let's go ahead and keep that. Okay. I think we're looking good here. Obviously, a Warden of the Inner Sky with 2 other creatures on turn 2 is pretty much like the best thing that we can kind of do. Now I've got the Kappa Tech-Wrecker. I think we're going to... Let's play down our creatures and then just go for the Warden of the Inner Sky. This is actually looking pretty good. Yeah, let's do this. Iron Apprentice. This is like pretty much like almost the best case scenario if we don't get countered or anything like that. So let's go for the Kappa Tech-Wrecker. And now we've got 2 unsummoned creature or summoning sickness creatures. And we'll tap out the Escort. Escort's not doing too much offensively. So we get another scry on the Warden of the Inner Sky. Get lost, and that is why we have our Escort. Escort is going to escort our Warden straight to safety. That's beautiful. And a land, so we get our Wandering Emperor land as well, and now we train. I mean, that is a pretty dynamite turn 3. I think that's like the most optimal thing we could possibly do. Sunset Revelry is not very optimal, just because now they're getting to kind of jump block us, which is kind of annoying, but it's okay. We still got this Wandering Emperor, and I'm honestly thinking about like, using it this turn. Maybe. Or maybe we go for the map token. Or do we go for the Warden? Like, I'm just gonna... I'm gonna do this now, just because they are playing like Zorius. I'm a little bit nervous that it gets countered. Even if we do like the flash shenanigans, I think it's just safer to kind of go for this. We'll go for a 2/2 with Summoning Sickness, and then we'll tap these map tokens that you so graciously gave us, and we get a Falco. Let's go. Okay. And I'm gonna swing in here. They could kill the Iron. They could kind of pick off the Iron Apprentice, but whatever. Elspeth Smite. Oh, that's actually really disappointing. That's actually pretty gosh darn good, but it is what it is. Take them down to 15. We lose our little apprentice, but now we put the +1/+1 counter elsewhere. I think we'll spread out the love a little bit. So once they've got depopulate, which they do not, that's looking good for us. We could go for Falco. So we definitely could go for Falco, but I think I don't want to overextend and then just run into like Sunfall or something. Let's get my thinking here. Do I want to use the Warden of the Inner Sky to tap the map tokens, or do I just want to use the map tokens? I don't think I'm going to play Falco. I think that's a little bit too greedy on the board here. Well, let's use the map token. Yeah, let's just kind of spread out our threats here. Maybe I go for the Kappa Tech-Wrecker if I know I don't have a land. Let's do this. I also was kind of debating on going for the Wandering Emperor and creating a -1. Ooh, Endless Detour. Okay, Endless Detour, obviously we love that. We definitely love that. And definitely don't want to go for the Warden. I think the Warden of the Inner Sky is kind of doing what it's doing already. We already got the Scry. We take him down to 6. And I think I can kind of live with this. This is looking okay. Let's decline that. Now for the Wandering... Oh, man. Yeah, I kind of messed up the sequencing a little bit there. We miss a point of damage. I don't want to go for the -1. Just because if we do get swept, then... Memory Deluge is fine. Memory Deluge is absolutely fine. That means we're digging for answers. But like I said, I don't want to get swept and then have to lose the Emperor permanently with the -1 again, because it would be at 1. So I think I'm going to +1. We miss out on a point of damage. If that comes back to bite me, I'll be really sad. Sunfall. So here's exactly... Okay, so we cast the Sunfall. Now the Emperor will be at 1. And we still had no board state. So I think I like that a little bit better. So let's go ahead and create this. Now, it is a little risky here, because I think we're just going to go in for Falco.
Let your blade do the talking.
Yeah, let's just go in for Falco. Oh, we are playing so badly because the Falco, I should have known that. As soon as I click the auto tapper, I have a bad habit of doing that. And it so happens that the exact scenario that I was thinking of happened. So I was going to get lost, and that's fine. I was going to look a white source because I know that we only have white 1-drops. So, and then we left that open there. So I don't even know if we could have gone for that, but dang, that is really rough though. So we don't get our Escort down a turn early. So let's go for the map token. I guess we'll just put lethal on the board here. It might not end up mattering, so we do have this Endless Detour. If their only plan is to go for the Incubator token, I guess we'll put you away. I don't really need you that much. No, Kappa, you're a little late. I think we're just going to swing it. If their only plan is to go for this Incubator token, we just got the Endless Detour. Hopefully they don't have like an Elspeth Smite, but I'm just going to go for it. Endless Detour. They give it up! No Elspeth Smite here. Chris, how are we doing here? We're gonna roll the dice here a little bit. This kind of sucks. So okay, never mind. I was gonna say we don't have 2 white sources for turn 2, so we have all these little like 1-drops. But if we don't have 2 white sources, it can kind of get a little bit dicey on turn 2 because you can't get both of them down. But like I said, we're looking fine here. Now we got all of the white sources that we need. That's the one downside about running like obviously 3 colors like Bant or something like that versus just like 2 or 1. Make disappear. It's a little bit rude. That's okay. Let's go ahead and just drop our Hopeful Initiate number 2. Take the pain, and nothing's going to be better. Yeah, the pain's definitely well worth it. So now, again, going for the Warden of the Inner Sky, we still can drop 2 more creatures down, so that's pretty nice. And we get our Falco. Gotta love Falco. Alright, let's just go ahead and try it. I guess it's a little bit more... I don't really care. We'll just drop the Escort. If they got another Make Disappear or whatever. If they do go for Make Disappear on this creature, on the Bondwarden, I think we are going to just do the Scry action on all 3. So, of course, yep, okay, that's fine. No big deal. They make that thing disappear, but now I'm going to go for the Warden of the Inner Sky. Let's go ahead and tap all 3 of them. See if we can find a land, because we do have 2 4-drops in our hand. We're going to have to put you away, buddy. Sorry. Let's go ahead and just try and get into a 4 or a land, so we can get into these Emperor and the Falco. And then next turn we can train with the Hopeful Initiate because we have the 1/1 counter on the Warden. Feels pretty good. So I got the Get Lost. Now we gotta make a decision here. I think we're still gonna want to put damage on the... Well, I think we gotta search for the Scry. I mean, I kind of do want to put damage on the board. Kappa Tech-Wrecker, we can get away with that. And now we can hold up Get Lost. I think that's fine. So we miss out on a little bit of damage here. Thirst for Discovery. At this point, I'm just assuming this is like Haughty Djinn. Like the Haughty Djinn, mono blue. We can kind of deal with that. We do have to get lost. We got the Wandering Emperor. We'll be okay. Alright. Still nothing here. We finally get into our land here. Now I'm just thinking, do I want to go for the Emperor, or do I want to just kind of drop down Falco? Because they've shown me so many counter spells, I think we're just going to have to wait on Falco. And you know what? Now that we got our land, I'm done scrying. Let's done scrying. Let's start attacking. And now we get to, like I said, now we get to start training. And even if they do something crazy, we have the Escort. The Escort, you know, Escort might be a little bit dead in this matchup, just because I don't think they're going to be able to, kill. Just going to, like, bounce it with, like, Fading Hope or something. So, Thirst for Discovery. Let's go ahead and just wait for the Wandering Emperor. Looking pretty good here. We also have the Get Lost, so let's see if they drop down the Haughty Djinn or the Tolarian Terror, that big serpent key card. There's the Haughty. Alright, there's Haughty. 4/4. Not too shabby. Maybe we just try to... Man, let's just go for Get Lost. I was going to say, maybe we go for the Emperor to kind of put some more damage on the board. But let's just go for Get Lost and just see if there's something else we can do. Rebuff. So, not that big of a deal. What I'm going to do is swing in with the Warden of the Inner Sky and the Hopeful Initiate. There's the Endless Detour. Alright, so we're looking pretty good here. I'm swinging all. Maybe not the Escort. Maybe it's a little bit too aggressive. They have 13 life, so maybe we just hold back a little bit. But if they block, then we have the Wandering Emperor, and we can just first strike them. If they don't have another counter... Ooh, okay, so they only have one land, so it is possible for like another Make Disappear. But they've already done... And Negate, I suppose, but... We don't know exactly if they're running that. They're definitely running Make Disappear, and they've already casted 2 of them. So... Let's just drop Falco. I think we can drop Falco here. Even if they can't do lethal to us next turn. And if we have Falco, we've got the shield counter, so we can actually chump block the Djinn. I actually like this a lot. Let's go ahead and put Falco out here with the shield. Shield's up, baby. Now that I know that I have a Get Lost, we can't cast it right now. Obviously, we're tapped out, but we know that we're getting a Get Lost as well. So we set up our next play, we put Falco out, and now we can chump block the Djinn if need be. All right, still nothing. That's pretty good. Now we're looking pretty okay. Another Endless Detour. I think what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to push for the Endless Detour on the top of my library just to be a little bit more efficient. Plus, if they are looking to bounce the Falco, like I said, we have the priority right now, and they're not going to really be able to plan for that. So maybe... Should I do this now? Let's go ahead and swing in here. I don't get to train with the Initiate, but that's okay. Oh, so they're only tapping. Okay, so they're tapping. I could try to Endless Detour this, but then I'm just gonna take it. You know, they're at 6/4. I think we can kind of afford one more turn of this. That should be okay. So let's just try. Oh man, I really screwed up. That I went a little bit too fast there. Let's go ahead and just try to go for the Endless Detour. That was definitely my bad, because if this does resolve and I don't get 4 in, I'll feel really stupid. I gotta slow down a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and give them an oops. They might think that I'm being cocky and saying oops to them by getting rid of their Haughty Djinn, but I really just mean that I should have swung in and then used it. Ugh. Missed out on a little bit of damage there, though. Hopefully, I mean, again, it's not the end of the world. It's pretty much, can we control the board or not? But it doesn't feel good missing out on damage. All right, so still nothing. Okie dokie. So we can push for another Get Lost as well. Okay, let's go ahead and just swing in. Let's see if our little bonehead there. Let's swing in. All right, I mean, this is definitely lethal. And we got an Endless Detour. So if they go in for anything too crazy, we can just kind of bounce it. March of Swirl and Miss, so they are going to tap out completely. Let's go for the Endless Detour, and they are tapped out, and this is going to be a good game. Falco and the Warden of the Inner Sky are going to take another game here. Yeah, like I said, there's nothing they can do. Bounce it, baby, and this is going to be just enough. Not just enough, but plenty enough for lethal. Bull Snidja, you doing here? How are we doing here? Same kind of problem that we run into sometimes. Hopefully we can get into another white source. It is a little dicey. We do. Even if we didn't, we do have the Malcolm. So we're kind of okay with that blue source on turn 2. So, oh yeah, we find that we're fine. Starting off with the Warden of the Inner Sky, you already know the deal here. We are trying to get into the Warden of the Inner Sky stuff, and let's just do it. I think Malcolm works really well because you can take away a counter, or a chorus counter from Malcolm. And that works really well. It is kind of tempting. Should we go for Malcolm? I mean, I think that kind of synergy hasn't really showed up in the video yet, but I think we'll kind of just relax on that. Let's just go in for the Bondwarden here and just go in for the Warden of the Inner Sky. I think overall it's just probably the best move that we can do. So let's be the best deck that we can be. Alright, so let's see if they want to do something. Let's just say, they're trying to reprieve me? Is that Alchemy? It's the wrong format. Or Mana Tithe, Explorer, or that might be a Sorg, actually. I don't know if that's legal. Alright, so Resolute and Reinforcements, that is legal in Standard. And I think we're just going to do this. This is a little risky. I'm going to do this, though. We do kind of leave ourselves wide open for a swing here. I'm going to probably put this away. Like, this doesn't really help us. Yeah, I don't think it really helps us too much, so. Alright, so now we've got a little bit bigger of a Warden of the Undersky, and I don't really know how we're sitting here. Still Seraph. That's actually not too bad. It's not too bad. We can handle that. Let's see if they put, what are they going to do? Lifelink out? Yeah, Lifelink's really the one thing that makes sense. But they could put a Vigilance on it, but all of our stuff has 2 toughness, so that doesn't really make any sense. Now becomes, do I want to go for Malcolm? If I want to go for Malcolm, I should do this now, so that I can swing in with the Warden. Or should I just go for the Get Lost? I think we're going to go for the Malcolm. Let's go for the Malcolm, and it feels weird playing Malcolm at sorcery speed, but in this case, I am going to do that, and yeah, I'm glad I did that, because the land doesn't help us at all, and I think I am going to swing. We don't have Vigilance. We don't have Vigilance yet. We need one more counter for it, but I think it's still better off that we just swing in. Okie dokie. Warden of the Inner Sky. So now they have their own Warden, and they're gaining life off that Veteran, so that's not good at all. Ossification. Oh, they get rid of my Warden in the Sky. Things are looking a little rough here. Still have 2 Get Lost, so I'm definitely looking to get lost on the Seraph, and we can get lost on the Warden of the Inner Sky if they choose to invest in it. But they might have enough of a board state here where they just kind of don't feel that's necessary. This is not bad, though. I mean, they're obviously holding up the Steel Seraph. We can get lost in the Steel Seraph. They only have 1 more card in their hand, so I mean, this isn't terrible. We go down to 14 here. It's actually interesting that they choose not to swing in here. So they're going to go for the Warden of the Inner Sky and do the Scry action here. Okay, that's fine. So we go down to 14 to 22. And we're looking a little bit rough. We need a little bit of help here. Well, okay. Hopefully they don't rope us here. Alright, so now they go in for the Warden of the Inner Sky. And what's like the best thing we can draw? Probably... I don't know, we have removal. There's an Emperor. Okay, well that's pretty good. I definitely can't complain about that. So I think what I'm going to do, let's just go for the Get Lost on the Seraph right now, so that I can swing in with Malcolm. I think we're just going to have to, it really sucks here, because even our Warden of the Inner Sky, I don't think I can really scry at this point. The scrying, we already have the Wandering Emperor. Yeah, let's just do this, see what we can get with the Malcolm here. And Make Disappear, I'm going to get rid of the Make Disappear. I am. They don't really have much of a hand to counter anyway, and we got to get lost. They give us a nice, well, I don't know if they're just being... smart ass or not, but we'll go ahead and give them a cheers to you. Whenever someone says thanks, whether I'm losing or winning, I just cheer. Hey, cheers. Alright, so the Warden of the Inner Sky, I think we'll just go ahead and do this now. They do still get the strike, but they have to tap out their creatures now. I don't know, I mean, they have a lot of map tokens, but they put it on the bottom, so they obviously don't like what they see, and they only have 1 card left in their hand, and this felt really gross. Like 2 turns ago, but now we're actually kind of sticking in there, and we got the Wandering Emperor now too. We could. I was gonna say if they use all the map tokens, it's like they can see our hand, because if they used it all on the Veteran and just went super tall, I would just cast the Wandering Emperor now to kind of just exile the Veteran so that it can't come back. And they give us a nice, hey, went positive or negative. Hey, cheers to you. And now they got the Voice of the Blessed. And ooh, now we got an Endless Detour. Okay. So I think what we're going to do is just kind of commit to the Malcolm rather than the Warden of the Inner Sky. I would like a little bit more cheaper creatures here. Let's go ahead and... Yeah, we're not doing the Warden of the Inner Sky. Let's go ahead and just take our damage here. And another Endless Detour. I think we're going to have to get rid of this Detour. And then it is tempting to go for the Emperor now. But let's just chill. Let's just chill. We're hanging on with this little Warden that has not had a single Scry counter. Voice of the Blessed. Sure. Sure. I'm trying to think here how I want to do this. Eventually, we will be able to go for Malcolm. Ooh, okay, so there we go. This is actually better. I'm going to just assume they don't have anything too crazy. Let's not go for the Lunarch Veteran. Let's go after the reinforcements so that we can do this.
I am the Emperor.
Wow, looking good. No interruption, no interaction whatsoever, and that feels great. Let's not drop the Dreamroot Cascade, because we do have the Malcolm. Now we're in a little bit weird of a bind here, because I have to swing in with the Malcolm. If I create a 2/2 with the Emperor, I still can't go for Warden. That's not enough creatures to tap if I want to swing with Malcolm. And then if I just put a +1/+1 on the Warden, that's not enough to have the Vigilance and Flying. So Very awkward state here, but I think ultimately we got to swing in with Malcolm, so I'm just going to do this. Let's go ahead and just take a little bit of a chill pill. We could go for the Endless Detour, but I want to see what we draw into first. That's fine. And now we got 3 chorus counters on the Malcolm, so almost up to 4. Now I'm just trying to think here with the Emperor. Do I create a 2/2? We already committed to not attacking, because if we would have put a +1/+1 on the Emperor, or the Warden, but... Yeah, let's just do this. We already committed to that. It feels bad. Let's just commit to that, because if we should have attacked in with the Warden of the Inner Sky if we were planning on doing that. And we still held up this Endless Detour. And they just give it up. Wow. Nice.